going down that tight 20 points to 14 loss to last year's grand finalist Hallam. Plenty to like from that performance for Vic Uni, but they'll be looking to try and get their first win of the season. An opportunity coming up against Manor Lakes, who are yet to prove what they'll be like in 2024. Had some nice moments last season. We can try and take it another level right now. My name's Simon Rathbone. Pleasure to have your company here this afternoon or this morning, wherever you're tuning in around Australia. Both teams just going through their final preparations. It'll be Manor Lakes with first use of the football. Vic Uni kicking from right to left on your screens. Manor Lakes will be desperate to get into an arm wrestle early and take it to this Vic Uni forward pack who went toe-to-toe with Hallam last week. And here we go, underway. Manor Lakes with first use of it. Ball over shot there and eventually retrieved and brought off a stop-start. Easy pickings for the Vic Uni defence, who will look to pin Manor Lakes down their own half. Take this opportunity to run through the team list for both teams. Fullback for Manor Lakes, Nathaniel Tandy. Bringing out the rest of the back line, Lolo, Lafoga, Smith and Rapetti. In the halves, Jordan Manuopo and Jeremiah Aveen. Prop position in the front row, Ruben Oriki is partnered with Francie Nemia. Has an early penalty. Piggyback Manor Lakes out of their own end. Wearing the number 9, Therese Tuala. And then the rest of the forwards, Vata Lapahu and David Tuariki in the lock position. For Vic Uni at fullback, Jethro Scanlon. On the wings, Orlando Fafita and Leon Penefu. In the centres, Mateus Apira and Houston Gallagher. In the halves, Noel McMahon, Dynamis Scanlon. In the prop position, Kaisara Fogalele. At hooker, Lockyer Azil Foliola. In the front row, Lawrence Raponi. The edge back rowers, Latrell Folomu and Denzo Atalio, who's scored the 2 tries in that loss to Hallam. And then at lock, Anais Jones-Tiao. Good field position early here for Manor Lakes. Tuala heads it to the left-hand side, Manopu. Now skipping out, Lafoga. Eventually picked off by his opposite number in Apera. Look to head back towards the post. Tuariki. Audacious little chip across the top, now looking to cut back in. Smith eventually chopped down around the bootlaces. 5th and last here for Manor Lakes. An early opportunity. They came rushing up off the line, pouncing on the football before Smith could get in and do his dummy half duties, and now a run drifting cross field. Eventually Jethro Scanlon brought to ground. Manor Lakes starting this contest brightly, muscling up in defence. This time rushing in on Lafoga. Meters not coming easy for Vic Uni in their opening set. Did well to hold on. They looked like they could have leaked points down that left-hand edge. Coming up with the football before Manor Lakes would get to their kick. Fancying the chances, running it down this left-hand side. Eventually going to be brought to ground. Limited real estate for Gallagher to work with there, and eventually giving the ball back to Manor Lakes, 40 metres out from their own line. Here is Smith. Tuala. Wobbly old pass back towards the middle of the field, eventually picked up and brought forward. Rapetti gets them up just shy of halfway. David Tuariki hands it off. Tuariki wearing the number 6, but playing in that lock position this afternoon. Manor Lakes jersey numbers not quite representing the positions they're playing. Manuopo, plenty of weight on it. Gallagher had to go back and get it. Some handy kick return meters. It's once again drifting cross field. So both sides going set for set to start this contest. For feeder. Smith dropped off the tackle. Eventually they'll head out to this right-hand side now. Now all of a sudden looking to find some space down the far wing. Gets up, asked to go back and play the ball. McMahon. Foliola. Straight through the middle. Looking for support to his left and to his right. Steps off the left foot, pops the ball back around the corner, and eventually going to race away. And Vic Uni get their first point through Jethro Scanlon. Foliola did the damage. Hand the ball off to his fullback who did the rest. And after an even start to this contest, Vic Uni pulling a rabbit out of the hat and opening their account for this afternoon. Lucky Azil Foliola just straightening the attack, going straight through the middle of the Manor Lakes defence. Tandy did well to try and bring him to ground. Couldn't control the football, was able to pop the ball around the corner to Jethro Scanlon, who did the rest. It's been an entertaining first 5 minutes. It's Vic Uni who draw first blood. And waved away, so 4-0 the score remains. Jethro Scanlon scoring that try for Vic Uni. Last year's premiers defeated Hallam in that final. It was a close encounter. Looking to bounce back after that round one defeat. And after absorbing some defensive pressure, they march downfield and get their first points. Lucky Azil Foliola, who set up that try, the Harold Matthews best forward recipient. Melbourne Storm in 2024. Playing his junior footy at the Sunbury Tigers. Just showing his element of class right there, just doing it on his lonesome before linking up with his fullback. Looking to complete after points. See how Manor Lakes respond after that earlier conceded try. Cut out past this right-hand side, cutting back in before the Manor Lakes defence could bring him to ground. Fifth and last coming up for Vic Uni. Foliola shows the dummy. Little chip kick in over the top, chasing through. Tandy trying to collect and quickly seized upon by the oncoming Vic Uni traffic. Manor Lakes now pinned down in their own end. No better place on the footy field to hand over possession. Tough meters right here for Manor Lakes. Smith looking to chip in and help out his forward through the middle. Manor Lakes struggling to make metres in this set. Heavy contact as Gallagher came out to meet him, and they'll be forced to get to their kick 25 metres out. Fifth and last, slight miscommunication, and then try and get rid of the football. It's a one-on-one strip, and now coming away with it Gallagher thought about the offload, thought better of it, and eventually brought to ground. Well, a nightmare start to the set and a nightmare finish. Now, Adelio scored 2 tries last week, goes down just short of the line. Looking to go straight through the middle, going for the crash play. Set up to the right. Jones to our first receiver. Scanlon, long cutout pass. Acres of space and they dive over. And Apera goes over. All too easy for Vic Uni. Had the Manor Lakes defence shot to pieces. And after Manor Lakes struggled to make meters in that set, failed to get to their kick. Tuala got caught with the football. And they're punished on the scoreboard. Just like that, 8-0 the scoreline. Well, they had an abundance of numbers on that right-hand side. 3 or 4 of the Vic Uni players could have scored themselves. Unselfishly hands it off. Matthias Apera goes over. And after what was a bright opening 5 minutes for Manor Lakes, they showed some good ball control, making a few meters. Things unravelling somewhat, and Vic Uni taking full advantage. So it'll be Jethro Scanlon to line up this conversion after the first one waved away. So not afraid to change goal kickers. We saw that in their round 1 contest. Tonight Scanlon was taken off the duties after an easy miss. That one unsuccessful also. So fortunately for a Manor Lakes perspective, the damage only 2 unconverted tries. Still giving them an avenue back into this contest. 1 converted try and all of a sudden this game almost tied right back up. Manor Lakes taking their time getting back to halfway. No real urgency in their work at the moment. You can see on your screens Vic Uni all set up in position, awaiting the kickoff. Low driving kickoff is play back underway. Bring it forward, running towards Smith. Raponi. Fogalele. Foliola. Once again, picking up meters for ease. Shrugs free of 1, shrugs free of 2. Looking for support inside now. Pins the ears back and goes himself. Eventually brought to ground there by Fauta. Once again, Foliola causing all sorts of headaches through the middle of the third of the field. Now a chance. Adelio, open space in front of him. Wrapping around and Scanlon grabs a second. Well, compliments to the chef, Vic Uni, cooking up a storm at Seabrook Reserve. Once again, doing the damage through the middle third of the field, and the outside backs cashing in this morning. In a matter of minutes, Vic Uni out to a 12-0 lead. Just see the Manor Lakes defenders dropping off the tackles. Denzo Adelio, we saw how dangerous he was last week. That 2-try performance. Brushed free of his man with ease, and once they saw open air in front of them, always going to be hard to stop. And like all good fullbacks, Jethro Scanlon sniffing in and around the ball and showed enough toe to get to the line. Our third goal kicker for Vic Uni. Everyone getting a chance to slot them this morning. This time it's Tanama Scanlon from the sideline. Scanlon steps in. He was none from one last week, and this one will fall short. So 12-0 the scoreline. All those tries coming out in the corner. That's why the poor goal kicking record stands at the moment. Once again, it was Foliola with the break through the middle of the field that set up that try. The Manor Lakes defence never really recovering. They quickly shifted it left, and it was all too easy from there. Adalio taking full advantage. So if you're just tuning in, Jethro Scanlon, 2 tries to his name, along with centre Houston Gallagher. The try scorers for Vic Uni. Leading 12-0 here at Seabrook Reserve over Manor Lakes. Short interchange of passing close to the line, picking up some post-contact metres. Manor Lakes slow to get back on side. As a result, straight through the middle they go. Already up to halfway, Fogolele plays it. Foliola, no look pass, almost fooled his own man. Wasn't expecting it. Vic Uni out to make a statement here this morning. Little shift out to this left-hand side. Scanlon, 2 tries already. Gallagher weaving in through Manor Lakes defenders. 5th and last. Vic Uni having gone coast to coast. Scanlon, short side, limited room to work with, trying to make something work. It's a first half hat-trick. Jethro Scanlon does it all himself. He had no right to find the try line that close, but he found a way, as all good try scorers do. Well, they were set out to this right-hand side. They went down the short side. Jethro Scanlon demanding the football. A fine start to this first half for the young fullback. Some soul searching to do for Manor Lakes, trying to get themselves back in this contest. You could just see in that set, defensively struggling to get back on side, and the Vic Uni big men, the likes of Fogolele, Raponi, doing some damage, picking up the post-contact metres. And yet another goal kicker. This time it's Foliola. I'm sure they'd love just a nice easy one right in front of the post to boost up the percentage, but not to be. Once again, a tricky attempt. Next goal kicking option might be head coach Tony Adams at this rate, the way they're going through the goal kickers. See if Foliola can knock this one over to add the extra 2 points. Steps in, strikes it nicely. It's coming back, but too much. Just past the left upright. So 16-0 the score remains. 4 tries inside this opening 20 minutes. Storm Cup, of course, seeing these 2 Victorian Academy schools going toe-to-toe. Showcasing some of the best Victorian talent. Been treated as some fantastic contests so far. This one so far looks as though it's going to be a Vic Uni performance to remember. Coming out here with a point to prove this morning. So far it's been an exclamation mark added to their performance. Manor Lakes get us underway once again. And a slip there from Scanlon in a game where he could almost do no wrong. Just showing he's human after all, coming up with the error. Just lost his footing as he tried to receive that football. Didn't Manor Lakes need that? A full set attacking the Vic Uni line. They would love some points just to break this run of tries that Vic Uni have gone on the past 10 minutes. Aside from that early defensive pressure inside the first 2 minutes, Vic Uni haven't had to do any real defending. They'll be put to the test right here. Manor Lakes desperate for their first points. Shows the dummy, slips out of the tackle, but Adalio brings him to ground. Tackle had to be made, the dummy was bought. Smith. Looking to straighten close to the line. That's all. Tuala with the dummy half duties. Ball hitting the deck once again. It's been pretty pedestrian so far from Manor Lakes. Looking to try and spark into life. Trying to create some shape on that left-hand side. Plenty of numbers in defence there for Vic Uni, and already fifth and last for Manor Lakes. Need to find points and find them now. They got the crossfield kick. It's an old wobbly one. Ball allowed to bounce, dangerously so for Vic Uni, and eventually dived upon. Well, a bouncing ball, always a dangerous proposition for any defensive line. That ball almost turning at right angles and falling into the lap of the oncoming Manor Lakes players. But as a result, they've hurt themselves. Line drop out. Smith looking to stay in the field of play as Adalio try to drag him into touch. Lapuaho hands it off. Avin. David Tuariki at first receiver. Tuala. Manawapo. Drops it under, runs into the shoulder there of Foliola. They'll continue to pester that left edge. Shows it straight up close to the line, looking to muscle his way past the defence. Lafoga. Fifth and last for Manor Lakes. Defence came rushing up before they could get to the kick. Well defended by Vic Uni, and Manor Lakes wait for points continues. The only real positive for Manor Lakes is where they gave the ball back to Vic Uni. The leader's forced to work it out of their own end. Offload at his own 10-metre line. Fafita to play it. Adalio gets the offload. Galega flirting with the sideline. Ricky tried to drag him over it. Scanlon back towards the middle. Jones Tiao, some nice close passing close to the line. Fogalele plays it. Now straightening. Raponi. Offload. All of a sudden the second phase footy starting to flow for Vic Uni, but Manor Lakes come up with the football. Much to the delight of the support that's come out to watch them this morning. Need to win the football back, and that they did. Manor Lakes looking to finish this first half strongly, and an error in the play the ball. Tandy just too eager to get to his feet and play the football. As a result, gift the ball back to Vic Uni, just inside Manor Lake's half. So player just receiving treatment back play. Manawapo. Reminded that there's no time off in the Storm Cup games during the regular season. Just under 5.5 minutes remain in this first half. Vic Uni leading by 16 points. Four-try first half performance so far, looking to add an extra one to their tally. So eventually the scrum will be packed. Vic Uni set up to this right-hand side. That's where they go. Scanlon wrapping around. Hands it off. Penefu dragged into touch. The expansive play off the back of the scrum. They went for the high risk, high reward, and the Manor Lakes defence up to the task. Hindsight's a beautiful thing. Perhaps a moment where Scanlon could have just held the football rather than pushing the pass. Full set of 6 at their disposal in good field position. Disappointing to give the ball straight back to Manor Lakes. Tandy not made to pay for that earlier error. Three Vic Uni players involved in the tackle, slowing down the play of the ball. Leo came rushing up, trying to produce the steal. Manor Lakes eventually get themselves over halfway. To Ricky. Little chip and chase. Ball bouncing kindly there for Smith, who end up with the football. Gets up and goes again at the second time of asking. Fifth and last. Vic Uni defence, shot to pieces. Tuala going from dummy half, just had to give the ball there. And now in the counter-attack, breaking free, slips free of one, slips free of two, turning on the afterburners and eventually grabbed around the bootlaces. Lapohaho coming across and sent for 10 minutes in the sin bin is Rapetti. Rapetti coming across. The professional foul with Vic Uni on the fast break. There's barely a Manor Lakes defender in sight. And as a result, salt rubbed into the wound right there. So down to 12 men. This is a golden opportunity for Vic Uni to add another try to their tally in this first half. Foliola being driven back here, the marker rushing up and eventually pops the ball back and they're allowed to play on, but the ball's put to ground. Vic Uni just dropping off in the past 5 minutes or so. They were so good for 25 minutes. Clinical with ball in hand, just coming up with a few unforced errors late in the half. With Fred Rapetti in the sin bin, that is a massive let-off for Manor Lakes, who could ill afford to go down another try. Vic Uni's goal-kicking woes, I should say, has kept them in this contest. And an audacious flick pass out the back. Not when you need him, when you just need to complete a set to get into the sheds at half-time. A no-look flick pass out the back with plenty of Vic Uni jumpers swarming in and around the ball, but nonetheless, they come away with it through Felicioni. Heavy contact, a Vic Uni defender. Came bouncing out of that. I think that was Dynamo Scanlon. "20 seconds remain in this first half. Chip and chase. Well positioned at the back. Scanlon. He'll fancy his chances on the kick return. Stepping off the left foot. Beats one. Now one last roll of the dice perhaps for Vic Uni. One last party trick before half-time. Straightening, and they'll take the tackle. And that puts to an end a strong first half performance. Vic Uni 16 points to 0 leaders over Manor Lakes here at Seabrook Reserve in this round 2 Storm Cup fixture. Welcome back. Second half action about to get underway here between Victoria Uni and Manor Lakes. It's last year's premiers in a commanding position with a 16 points to 0 lead, scoring 4 tries in that first half. Jethro Scanlon securing a first half hat-trick. And Houston Galagaya also getting in on the try-scoring action for Manor Lakes. Back to the drawing board. The Storm Cup newcomers looking for an improved performance in this second 30. Their defensive resilience to be tested here. See David Tuariki barking orders in the middle third of the field. Their lone Harold Matthews representative out there this morning. Vic Uni with first use of the footy in the second 30. Looking to keep the good times rolling. Comes out the direction of Dynamo Scanlon and missed everybody. Scattering the pins before eventually picked up and brought back. Kind of Natu went off just at half-time. Assisted from the field. I can't imagine he'll be making a return for Manor Lakes. Fred Rapetti also sent to the sin bin just shy of half-time, so they'll still be down to 12 men for the start of this second half, and an error in their opening set. Nice Jones Tiao, the guilty party. And after Manor Lakes, they started the first half brightly, going set for set with Vic Uni before a crucial 15-minute window allowed last year's premiers to pile on the pain. They'll be desperate to kick off this second half with points of their own. Rather fortunate that Vic Uni have missed all 4 of their conversion attempts in their pursuit of a regular goal kick-up. Those missed conversions made them pay in last week's loss to Hallam. Hoping they can try and find some more accuracy here in the second 30. Tandy in a dummy half, goes down the short side. Trying to catch Panefu napping. Young winger up to the task to bring him to ground. Now Naha. Ball spills out the back, trying to get the offload away, but ripped away illegally according to the referee. An error and a penalty, not the star Vic Uni were after in this second half. We're hoping to send a message to the rest of the competition. The full 60-minute performance. Now looking to muscle up in defence. Tuala. Tuariki. Hands it off. Ricky. Set to this right-hand side. Tuariki, first receiver. Cut out pass off the knee. Falls kindly here for Smith. The young Queenslander gets up and is dragged down just shy of the line. Good fortune almost favouring Manor Lakes on that occasion. Now straightening. Manor Lakes pressing hard for their first points. Tuariki puts the pass out. A chance, and they reach out for the line. Lapuaho brought down just shy. Ball hits the deck. Back towards the post they go. Fatal. They'll try a ray down this left-hand side perhaps. Tuariki calling for it once again. Slow play the ball. Ball close to the line, trying to crash the way under the post. VUSC defence holding strong so far. Tuala. Pass to no man's land. Tandy. Ad-lib footy puts a little grubber in behind. It's not a bad one in the end, but eventually allowed to trickle out of play by Panefu. They'll bring it out for a 20-metre tap. VUSC not made to pay for their early ill discipline. Panefu wasting little time in the restart of play. Picks up 8 metres and they start their set 28 metres out from their own line. Foliola showing the dummy, hands it off, gets them up to halfway. Foliola. Jones-Tiao. The two Harold Matthews players combining. Picking up post-contact metres for fun. Down this left-hand side they go. Scanlon. Adelio straightening. Bouncing out of one before eventually being chopped down by a number of Manor Lakes defenders. Foliola, dummy. Scanlon. McMahon putting it through the hands. Chance in this right-hand side. And Apera goes over. He grabs his second as well. And after Manor Lakes had a golden opportunity to get their first points just a few minutes ago, Matthias Apera goes over and scores an easy try in the corner. VUSC's try-scoring form continues in the second stanza. There 5 tries scored by the two players, Jethro Scanlon and Matthias Apera. And unfortunately for a VUSC perspective, another try scored right in the corner, so a tough assignment for Jethro Scanlon to try and convert this 4-pointer. Had they converted all their tries, they'd be looking at a dominant 30 points to nil scoreline. Instead, 20 points to nil the scoreline at the moment. Perhaps not a true reflection of just how dominant VUSC have been. There's still 24 minutes remaining in this game. Time and time again, it's the middle forwards doing the damage through the middle of the field. Putting the Manor Lakes defence on the back foot and the outside backs cashing in. You could just see that nice little shift to the right-hand side. Not overcomplicating it, putting it through the hands. Manor Lakes strip for numbers, down a man. Try time for Apera. Scanlon taking his time in his audition for the goal-kicking duties. Low and hard across the face. So Manor Lakes still in their huddle behind their own try line. In no rush to get back to halfway. Well, the picture tells 1,000 words. Manor Lakes, just a few heads beginning to drop. Hopefully for their sake they can try and turn things around and finish out this game strongly. They knew it was going to be a tough task going up against the reigning premiers. Well, it's just their first year in the Storm Cup competition. Oppo gets us back underway. Yeah, bring you forward, Fogalele. Ball at the back. Fogalele. Foliola, I should say, breaks straight through. Skips free of one. Pops the ball away. And Jethro Scanlon is off to the races. Make it 4 for the young fullback. Once again, Lockie Azil Foliola doing the damage. Hands it off in a carbon copy of their first try for the morning. Jethro Scanlon says, thank you very much. Try number 4 under the post. And he puts himself forward to knock this one over. Just the Manor Lakes defenders dropping off tackles. It was a late offload that did the damage. Lucky Azil Foliola only needs an inch of space, and he made them pay. And finally, after 40 minutes of football, Vic Uni with a straightforward conversion attempt. Scanlon making sure of it, taking his time. Steps in, adds the extra 2 points, so 26-0 the score. Vic Uni leading over Manor Lakes in this round 2 Storm Cup clash. Jethro Scanlon, 4 tries to his name. Matthias Apera contributing with the other 2. "20 minutes for Manor Lakes to try and muster up a reply. Vic Uni out to point with a point to prove after that round 1 defeat to Hallam in what was a hard-fought contest that went right down to the wire. They had their opportunities with ball in hand, Vic Uni. Hallam were down a man. Waka Hummon sent to the sin bin. Vic Uni couldn't come up with the points. Well, they're scoring points for fun in this contest so far. A wobbly old kickoff and puts down. Just had a little peek up at the oncoming defence before securing the football. Any cries there from Kaisara Fogalele that the ball wasn't played at, falling on deaf ears. It's Vic Uni side. It's a slightly different lineup to that one that took out the crown last year. No Philip Masalasalu, Dees Norris Motu, Aidan Ketty, Lorenzo Fafita. So the young players having to step up and fill the void. So far it's been happy hunting ground today. Tandy, the dummy, Nemia. Manor Lakes would love some points to boost their spirits right here. Manuapo. Lafoga. So far, Vic Uni have repelled every attacking raid that Manor Lakes have thrown at them. Tuariki forced to go back and get it. Shift out to this right-hand side. Smith just scoops it out. It was a poor pass, put down. Just couldn't link up with his winger cleanly. Once again, 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards for Manor Lakes. An early shift on the back of the scrum. Throws the dummy. Open air in front of him in a foot race there with Tandy. Tandy can't make the tackle. Scanlon slips out of one. He slips away and he's going to race away for try number 5. Jethro Scanlon take a bow. Had plenty of work to do on the back of the scrum. Put that one on the highlights reel. Jethro Scanlon giving Manor Lakes nightmares. 5 tries. Back-to-back tries in quick succession for Vic Uni. There was some lovely work on the back of the scrum. With the Manor Lakes vulnerable on that left edge. Through the dummy, and despite the likes of Tandy and co coming across in cover, they couldn't reel him in. What a brilliant solo effort. And Jethro Scanlon won't be forgetting this game anytime soon. 5 tries. And perhaps more to come with still 15 minutes to play. Scanlon now to convert his own try. To make it a 32 points to nil scoreline. Adds the extra 2. And the good times keep rolling on for Vic Uni. Seven tries now already in this contest, with more threatening to come. This time it was a length of the field effort. Well, you might be excused for confusing the players in the lineup for Vic Uni. There's plenty of Scanlons out there. Jethro Scanlon, Danamas Scanlon, Abraham Scanlon, but you won't be forgetting Jethro Scanlon's name anytime soon. Young fullback stealing the show. Once again, Manuapo with the duties. Rinse and repeat for Vic Uni so far, charging off the back fence. Heavy contact through the middle of the field. Vic Uni can smell blood in the water. Looking to flex their muscles. The ball stripped free. Brought back the other way. A chance for Manor Lakes. Chopped down in a try-saving tackle. And Vic Uni, that was always going to be 10 minutes in the bin. Galagaya sent to serve his time. After Manor Lakes, they stripped the football free. They look certain to try. It's Tuariki, I believe it was. Somehow chopped down close to the line. And now with a man advantage of their own. We'll try and find some points in reply. Tuala. Tuariki. Ball hits the deck. Falls kindly and put down by Harlem Smith. But the ball going forward. Not to be for Manor Lakes. That party quickly extinguished. With some numbers on that right-hand side, they couldn't execute the pass. Harlem Smith denied. Now a chance for Vic Uni to pack the scrum in the same position where Scanlon scored that try just a few minutes ago. Once again, shifting on the back of the scrum. Down the sideline they go. Chip kick back on the inside of play. Ball dived upon there. Referee spotting the error. There's a pair of the two-time try scorer tried to dive on the football. Vic Uni experimenting with some Champagne Rugby League now in the final 12 or so minutes remaining in this second half. Just a carbon copy of their shift on the back of the scrum from the exact same position that led to that Scanlon try. This time it was Penefu who had the open pasture in front of him, tried the chip kick back on the inside. Didn't sit up for it. The oncoming Vic Uni players, and as Opera tried to dive on the football, just a little bobble. Daniel Tandy. He's worked hard at fullback. Wearing the number 10 for Manor Lakes. Like as that man, David Tuariki. Extremely vocal. Trying to will his team on, stay in the contest. Lafoga going to do well to try and stay in the field of play and unable to do so. Vic Uni muscling up. Young centre had limited room to work with. And in the end, easy pickings. Jones Tiao hands it off through the middle. Folamu. Flop in over the top there by Nemia. Fortunate to get away with it. This time Jones Tiao rolls up the sleeves and goes himself, looking for a quick play the ball. Held on there in the middle. Trying to slow down the play the ball. As a result, Scanlon had to pick it around the bootlaces. This time it's Jethro Scanlon. Somehow breaking tackles for fun. Gets it back to Dynamis. All of a sudden, Vic Uni in attacking territory. Ball took a touch. Backwards. McMahon submits to the tackle. Jones Tiao throws the dummy. Fifth and last coming up for Vic Uni. Trying to keep the good times rolling. McMahon, crossfield kick. It's not a bad one. Chance coming through. No try the call. For a split second, Vic Uni thought they'd come up with another 4-pointer. Knock on in the process, and as a result, Manor Lakes bring it back the other way. Tandy gets them up just shy of halfway. Tuariki, the kicking duties, puts it into the corner. Back there is Scanlon. Rises to meet it to bring it back. Vic Uni, of course, down a man. Houston Galagaya in the sin bin for another few minutes or so. The ball spills free. Manor Lakes not wasting any time diving on the football. Slow play the ball here for Manor Lakes. Manawapo. Ball close to the line, through the middle. Tries to put the ball around the corner. Jones Tiao clinging on desperately for Vic Uni. Penalty going the way of Manor Lakes. Thought perhaps Vic Uni might have had another player sent to the sin bin. Taps and goes himself and the ball spills free immediately. Play allowed to continue. Heads up football here from Abraham Scanlon. Everybody switched off and number 14 scooped up the pill. Gets them out to their own 20-metre line. It's a standing start. Wasn't quite expecting it. And geez, he's done well to still make something work. He had absolutely no right to break away. And talk about an individual effort. He skips free of one, of two, and eventually down around the bootlaces by Smith. Well, he got that standing still. Play continues for Vic Uni. Ball hits the deck off the shin. Scooped up and it all comes to nothing in the end. Well, I think I would have just up well and retired from commentary if Jethro Scanlon had found a way to find the try line after that effort. Caught the ball 25 metres out from his own line, completely flat-footed, and still almost made it work, if not for a desperate effort there from Harlem Smith right at the end to bring him to ground. Fortunately for a Manor Lakes perspective, Vic Uni couldn't make them pay on that left-hand side. The ball just hitting the deck. A few errors creeping into both teams as we head further down the stretch inside the final 5 minutes now. Tandy runs towards Panefu. Takes a chance to go through the round 3 fixtures for the Storm Cup. Hallam College taking on Manor Lakes. May 22 as a little chip kick put through here, looking to collect it before he reaches Scanlon. Scanlon chops down around the ankles. Manor Lakes want to keep play going now. David Tuariki throws the dummy, hands it off. Smith down on the outside, and Manor Lakes, they get a try through Harlem Smith. They've battled away this morning. They deserve that 4-pointer. The newcomers find some joy. Two or three of their best players this morning combining for that 4-pointer. David Tuariki finding Harlem Smith. The Queenslander going over. And while it'll matter little in the ultimate outcome of this match, little confidence boost that'll give Manor Lakes heading into that game against Hallam, where things don't get any easier. Hallam have looked the goods so far in 2024, winning both of their matches, defeating Vic Uni in round 1 before proving too good for the Grange in round 2. For Vic Uni, they'll take on Mount Ridley, who are still yet to play a game so far in 2024. Mount Ridley having the bye in round 2 and their fixture against the Grange in round 1 still yet to be confirmed. So plenty to look forward to in the Storm Cup. Looking ahead, Kick waved away, so 32 points to 4 the score remains. Inside the final 90 seconds of this contest. Chance here for Manor Lakes to close out this contest nicely. Finally rewarded with their first 4-pointer. Vic Uni unable to complete the shutout. Vic Uni going short, chasing through for it. Ball is spilled. Full in the path of Vic Uni, who come away with the football. Then the desperation pass off the tarmac. It's a deem that Vic Uni took advantage. And they'll look to close out this contest inside the final minute. So like I touched on, Manor Lakes to face Hallam College in round 3, while Vic Uni look to keep the good times rolling when they take on Mount Ridley on May 23. 5 tries for Jethro Scanlon this morning. Young fullback cashing in on a morning to remember. Vic Uni proving too good for the newcomers. One last roll of the dice here as Tandy skips free of one tackle. Gets them up just shy of their own 40-metre line. An extra spring in the step of Manor Lakes after that try. Tuariki tries the kick in behind. Scanlon forced to go back and collect. Wrestling forward, and eventually will bring it back here for Vic Uni. Could just be the final play of the game, and there it is, full time, and it's Vic Uni. 32 points to 4 winners over Manor Lakes here at Seabrook Reserve in round 2 of the Storm Cup for 2024.